Good afternoon. My name is Adrian, and I will be making the presentation that Alberto and Guido prepared. We can certainly confirm that even in these difficult times there are excellent international trading opportunities for Ukraine. Furthermore, given the development of Ukraine's reconstruction program, which is currently supported by more than 20 countries to a gross value of $200 billion, as soon as the fighting stops, there will be excellent business opportunities for foreign companies. Needless to say, notwithstanding these opportunities, both Ukrainian and foreign companies will need to ensure that commercial contracts are correctly structured and that due consideration is made for Ukrainian law and tax requirements. It is not the purpose of this presentation to answer all of these issues, especially as the solutions that will be appropriate for your company will depend upon your situation and the commercial content of your contract. However, what we will try to do in this short presentation is to raise the issues that you should consider, and indicate where, if you need any support, we at IC&Partners can provide that support. Undoubtedly, as we speak, there are business opportunities in Ukraine. But, like any international trade, there are considerations for both local and foreign companies. Here we will highlight those considerations that should be taken into account by Ukrainian exporters, Ukrainian companies that may well be involved in the reconstruction program, foreign companies that are thinking of becoming active in the reconstruction program. Here we will also highlight a few points why we think that Ukraine presents a favorable environment for business. Finally, we will summarize the services that IC&Partners can provide to support your international business activities in and with Ukraine. Just a few words about IC&Partners. As you can see, IC&Partners is a company specialized in professional consulting for business internationalization, created to support companies operating in global markets. With 40 offices in the world, a wide spectrum of professional consulting services in the areas of tax, accounting, legal, administrative, and human resources management, as well as entry strategy and export management. Most relevant for the purposes of this trade mission, we operate in both Lviv and Kiev, supported by strong local partners as well as by our offices in Warsaw. Therefore, we can also offer a bridge to start approaching the Ukrainian market from Poland. Here we would like to emphasize the key considerations that Ukrainian companies should take into account before entering new export markets, or indeed before exporting for the first time. It is critical, as in any business activity, to have an export strategy, and it is important to translate this strategy into a detailed, practical export plan. We understand that ICC Ukraine, together with Trade Tech Solutions, has provided delegates with a useful, comprehensive guide to international B2B trade, which includes a checklist for formulating your export program. We do not plan to repeat that here. However, what we would say is that you may feel that you need help in developing your program, in which case we are here to help. Once you have your plan in place, you need to ensure that you have your export contracts ready and that these cover any relevant compliance issues. It is important that you are ready to deal with all the documentation needed to support export trade. You can find support from a number of services. For example, ICC provides template documentation for international trade. But if you need these to be adapted, please do so with appropriate legal advice and not simply edit them yourselves. Your freight forwarder, DHL, for example, can be of great assistance for your specific exports, and IncoDocs offers a service which allows you to digitalize your documents. However, you should also ensure that there are personnel in your company that can prepare and process the necessary documentation. You may need extra finance and shipping insurance to support your export program. Make sure that you know what you need and what is available to you and at what cost before entering into any export contracts. Finally, calculate your total costs. These will depend upon the terms of your contract. Exactly what are you responsible for example transport? Insurance, what extra costs will you have to cover in terms of administration? Do you have an exchange risk which you have to cover? If so, at what cost? This is not to say that the exporting process is especially difficult. It just needs preparation. In the next slide we will move on to considerations for importing and contracting with foreign companies in Ukraine. The reconstruction program will inevitably need imports into Ukraine to replace damaged machinery, equipment and infrastructure. Therefore, import documentation, especially with regard to quality controls and standards, and any applicable tariffs have to be understood in detail. It is very likely that you will have to sign commercial contracts with foreign companies, either as a main or subcontractor. It is vital that you fully understand the relevant reciprocal rights and obligations, especially payment terms and currencies. Tax and accounts. How will you be affected? What should be paid? By whom? By when? On the next slide we will address the key considerations foreign companies considering involvement in Ukraine's reconstruction program. There will no doubt be excellent opportunities for foreign companies to become involved in Ukraine's reconstruction program. As we advised at the beginning of this presentation, Western governments have already pledged $200 billion in support of this program. More details regarding this program are covered by ICC Ukraine, so we will not repeat any of that here. But like all things, if you want to be involved, you will have to have an entry strategy. You will need to be aware of relevant import documentation, including relevant product standards, as well as any tariffs that may be applicable. Your contracts may well require local input for which you are responsible. You may have to hire local personnel. Will you need to establish a branch, a local subsidiary, a local joint venture? A local presence could have accounting and cross-border tax considerations. These will need careful consideration to avoid any unpleasant surprises. At this point, we would like to highlight why we think that Ukraine represents excellent opportunities to establish a local presence. We have to say, as you can see on this slide, that the local business environment is extremely friendly. Without reading each point, we can summarize these advantages as being: business opportunities already exist and will boom with the reconstruction program. There are low tax rates and government incentives are available. Bureaucracy is minimal and processes are online and fast. Skilled staff are available. Relatively low costs, in terms of both personnel and local physical inputs. If you are seriously considering being involved in Ukraine's reconstruction program, we would advise that you begin preparation now. If you leave it too late, you will find yourselves at the back of the queue. The proof of our belief in Ukraine is simple. We have established and operate 2 offices here. In this presentation, we have tried to summarize the issues you will have to consider in developing your business. You may already have considered these issues and have answered them all, or they may not be relevant for your line of business. On the other hand, if you do need support in Ukraine, we offer a wide range of business, fiscal and legal services. These include law and tax, international consulting, management consulting including support for strategic growth in the Ukrainian market, financial management and accounting, outsourcing as bookkeeping, payroll, financial reporting, and compliance with Ukrainian financial regulations. We also provide audit services, transfer pricing, support for internal controls, and regulatory compliance. We offer a full suite of legal services, including corporate law, contract drafting, export and regulatory compliance. We work with you to ensure your business meets Ukrainian legal standards. If you would like to discuss how we could be of service, please do not hesitate to contact either Alberto or Guido. Their contact details are on the next slide. So, whether you are a Ukrainian or a foreign company looking for support, we invite you to reach out to our experts operating in Ukraine and Poland. Our team is ready to assist you with tailored financial and business solutions, ensuring compliance with local regulations and maximizing your business efficiency. Please feel free to contact us to discuss how we can support your business development needs and help your business thrive. Thank you for listening to this presentation, and we look forward to hearing from you in the not too distant future.